104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern here in the studio this morning with Kristen Lappas, who is a filmmaker with ESPN and a part of the new 6-episode docuseries about our very own Kansas City Chiefs. It's called The Kingdom. And I'm going to tell you right now, Kristen, you asked the right guy to talk to you about this team because I am a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan. So first question, are you a Chiefs fan, or are you, as they say, like sports journalists, you got to remain objective? You can't be a fan of any team.
Yeah, I mean, I came in born and raised in Philadelphia, actually. But I will say this: grew up a coach's kid. My dad was the head coach at Villanova for their men's basketball team as a kid, and so he overlapped with Andy Reid in Philly, and we were big Andy Reid fans when I was a kid. And after this season, I know we're supposed to remain impartial, but I am the biggest Chiefs fan. I told my husband, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm rooting for them for life now. Like, I know these guys, and I see how special the culture is, so I'm all in now.
And I'm glad that you said that, because that was going to be my next question. You got a lot of direct access with the team and got to see things that a lot of people don't get to see. I'm 42, so I've been living and dying by this team since I could talk. So it's been a long road. I mean, last few years have been incredible, but it wasn't always like this. But again, you said the word culture, and I think that's really the foundation of where this greatness starts.
Absolutely. I mean, we start episode 5 following 4 lifelong Chiefs fans. And they kind of take us through that, they've been fans through the ups, through the downs. And then we kind of show a montage of some of the harder times, which I think is necessary in order for the average fan to appreciate how far the Chiefs have come. I think that, the average fan now is like, oh, we're sick of the Chiefs. They win all the time. But it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, they had to wait a long time, and they went through a ton of adversity to get to this point in the history of the franchise. So that's all a part of the series. And I think it's important to kind of know where you come from in order to see kind of how far you've come.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, because I have conversations with kids in their late teens, early 20s that are like, oh, are we done? And we're like, dude, you weren't around for 06. You weren't around for 04. You don't know what it was like when people were paying airplanes to fly banners around Arrowhead that said, fire Pioli and the Hunt family doesn't care about you. And I mean, I was on the lot just going, this is horrible. But again, we live and die by that team. And I'm glad that a lot of people are finally, through your docuseries, are going to get to see what goes into creating this thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, you keep mentioning the culture, but I think that does start with the origins of the franchise, right? Like Lamar Hunt was this guy who was really grounded for a billionaire. You know what I mean? Like, I uncovered and discovered so much about Lamar Hunt in the process of researching and making this movie. The guy would sit, in the stands with the fans. He kind of always embraced that family culture. There's this one story that somebody tells in the series about how he used to only ride coach. And so people would go onto an airplane and they would expect him to be in first class or riding private, and he would be in a middle seat and coach. So anyways, the reason I'm saying that is because I do think that kind of down to earth, grounded family atmosphere began with Lamar Hunt and has kind of persisted. And I was amazed with how much the current players know about the history of the organization. I've worked with a lot of professional sports teams, and I do not think that's the case. And it just speaks to how special the culture is that Patrick Mahomes in his interview with me is talking about Lamar Hunt. I think that's super rare.
Yeah. And I agree. And Clark has continued on his father's legacy. And that's one of the special things about the Kansas City Chiefs. And I always bring this up a lot when we do things with Mitch or Danon, is that the accessibility. You don't have to be a rich person to be able to go to a game. Still, you can access the team in St. Joseph, Missouri at training camp for free. The players are always doing stuff in the community in Kansas City. So they've made that team extremely accessible. And I think that's why we're so diehard for them.
Absolutely. And again, you mentioned the access. As everybody knows, Coach Reid has for a long time been very guarded about letting cameras inside his operation. And so, it took a lot of trust building, but I felt like we got there with him, and we were able to capture a lot of really special moments and scenes that I hope give even diehard Chiefs fans a little bit of perspective in a new light on the team.
couldn't have asked for a better time to premiere this docuseries, which comes out tomorrow. ESPN, ESPN Plus, all the digital stuff, you can get it there. But as we gear into the regular season, I know that we're all real pumped, and this will be a really fun thing to watch as we get into the regular season.
Thank you so much for having me. And like I said, it was a once in a career opportunity to work with such an amazing group of guys. And I hope that, even the Chiefs haters kind of see how special this group of guys are on this team. So thanks for having me, Mike.
I appreciate you and your candor, and also as a Philly fan, looking at it from an objective eye, so that you could kind of see why we love this team so much. And I think that also is very important as fans of teams, is when you gain that perspective of, oh, okay, I understand. I mean, obviously we love Travis Kelce, but there's a lot of Chiefs fans that love his brother too, even though he was a enemy for a long time, just because game recognizes game. And when you're on the top, everyone's going to be clawing and pulling at you to bring you down, no matter what they can do.
It's so well said, and it's the truth. Good people resonate with people, all over the world. And Jason and Travis have kind of, have this global appeal now. And we had a lot of fun filming with Travis. One of my favorite scenes is we took Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Andy Reid down into. I'm sure all the Kansas City people know the Subtropolis, the underground.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Yep.
they actually keep the entire archive and library of all of the Chiefs memorabilia down in the caves. We brought the guys down there. It was the first time any players had been down there to kind of take in the history. And Travis was just so hilarious and charismatic. And it's one of my favorite scenes because I think his personality really shines. And they were genuinely surprised with some of the artifacts that we were showing them. So it's a really cool moment where these guys are kind of acting like kids, kind of discovering this whole new place.
Well, again, Kristen, thank you so much for your time this morning. I cannot wait to watch it. It's called The Kingdom. It premieres on ESPN tomorrow. Make sure and watch it. And thanks from all of us at The Kingdom here in Southwest Missouri, Kristen, for your time and the documentary about our favorite team.
It was an honor. Thank you, Mike.